Hello and welcome to the Go to Market podcast, where the best experts, founders, and CEOs share their advice. Today, I want to welcome my friend Jay Tannenbaum, or JT, to the show. JT is the founder of Craft Mix. So let's start off. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, no problem. My name is JT. I'm originally from New Jersey and I moved here to LA not too long ago. Actually, it's been quite a while now, maybe 6 years coming up. So I've lived on both coasts. I'm a
Where do you live?
founder. New Jersey. Yeah, moved from New Jersey all the way to the West Coast, California. Love it here. Got my business set up here. I'm a avid entrepreneur. I love building businesses, so that's really my thing.
Awesome. What would you say is the best part about working in the food and beverage industry? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about Craft Mix.
Definitely. So there's a lot of really like noble industries to go into, like healthcare, it's very serious, or, something with education, or even, fintech, things like that, where people have like a lot of pride in what they do. But I think all the people in like CPG, consumer packaged goods, and the food and beverage industry, really, I guess the best part is that you're making people happier. So you're creating products that they're really going to enjoy. And that's kind of what I don't know, makes me happy. I guess that's the best part for me. I know I'm not, specifically doing something, sending people to Mars, but it is making people happy and enjoying their quality of life. And even if it's just the little things, it is the little things in life.
I
So that's
totally agree. Like I can relate because my favorite hobby is cooking. I love cooking, and there's just something so special about food and making drinks for people, and it's just the memory, the comfort, the warmth. Like it's so much more than just a meal or just a drink.
totally. That's what people always say. Like, oh, I had a bad day. I'm just gonna have like a really great meal or like a really great drink to make up for it. So to me, that's the good
Bucket of
part.
ice cream.
Well, yeah, a pint of ice.
What would you say is the hardest part about getting in front of your customers?
Yeah, so it's tough. I'm a young founder. It's tough when you're just starting in the market to get your product in front of your customers, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of competition. And just like any industry, it's a very relationship driven, every industry, including like consumer packaged goods. It's a very relationship driven industry. So I can't just go walk into Walmart and say, hey, I have a great product. We have sales. Like, can you please buy this? They're going to say, well, no, I don't know you. I don't trust you. They're not going to say that. They'll say, I'll take a look at it and I'll get back to you. And you never hear them ever again. When we first started, we tried this. Target, Walmart, every big box retailer you could think of, and we're not getting any responses. And I understand, it's hard to trust just someone off the street. They trust all the brokers and distributors that they've been working with for 50, 100, 150 years. Some of these companies go back, they started in the 1800s distributing alcohol and booze to some of these small stores. And so there's just a real barrier to entry when you're a young entrepreneur with a great product and you want to break in, but no one's giving you that initial chance. So that's why I think online has been such a revolution in these past couple of years, with e-commerce just growing and growing and growing, because places like Amazon or places like your own website, they don't have that same, barrier to entry to putting your product on your website or on Amazon. And so that's how we kind of broke it. And still, even then, it takes time, because when you put your product on your website doesn't have any traffic. So it's kind of a pay to play. You got to pay to bring people to your website and hope that they check out. Amazon, you start on page 10. You know what I mean? No one starts on page 1 front and center, and you have to work your way up. So it is a little more pay to play online, but there at least is, some ability to put your product out there in front of your customers. And if you have a good product, people will notice that. If you're doing the right things and you have a really good product, people will notice that. And over time, you'll build your way up and you'll get on those front pages and you'll get more website traffic. So that's where I think people should always start, is online. Really build your community, build your following, And then once you have enough following, then you can approach those retailers and say, look, I have demand. I have all these people following and purchasing all the time online. I think we'll translate that very well to retail.
Yeah, I first off, you guys have a great website. I think that everyone should go to Craft Mix and look at it. Um, we'll put below how to find that, so don't worry about that with the link. But one thing I saw on your website was the sustainability page, and I'm really curious about that and how all that came about. So I'm hoping you can give us a brief overview of what that is, what's on there, and again, how that all came about.
Absolutely. I think we even forgot to introduce the product. So our company is called Craft Mix. We make all natural cocktail mixes that come in these small pouches. It's the easiest cocktail you'll ever enjoy and the healthiest too. It's only 20 calories, a couple grams of sugar. You just pour it into water, add a shot of booze, and that's it. That's all you need to do to enjoy a delicious cocktail. So it's a really cutting edge product, really new in the market, and we've picked up a lot of steam in our, I guess, almost a year and a half of sales now. But back to your question of sustainability, I would say, well, to be honest, I was a bartender once. Before I was an entrepreneur, I was a bartender. And I noticed that a lot of times people would just use, slivers of the orange peel throughout the whole orange, or people would use, just a little bit of, lemon squeeze throughout the lemon. And that wasn't right to me. It's like, why not use the whole fruit? And so we thought powdered products, they cut down on waste because you're using the entire fruit. And not just the beautiful fruit that gets placed on the shelves, the ugly fruit that doesn't make it to the shelves. So it's a much more sustainable way because you're using everything and it cuts down on waste. As well, it's lighter to ship, so you're not shipping all the heavy water and you're not using those big plasticky containers and bottles. It just comes in this really small packet. So all of those things combined, we just thought it was a more efficient way for people to enjoy cocktails.
That's amazing. So I I wanted to kind of open it up for you a little bit more to talk to us about how you start a business with no funding, how you start from nothing and build your way up, right? So you have to start somewhere. Like you said, online is a great place to start so you can get that traction, build that momentum. That way you are able to have conversations with the big dogs and the big players. But I'd love to hear, your advice on that.
So it's tough. It really, really, really is tough. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint-hearted. We've been through 3 rounds of funding now, and we just closed our Series Seed a couple months ago. And so that means 3 times we were strapped for cash and freaking out about it. Um, I always say if you're starting a business, the number one thing you should do is don't make this big 100-page business plan. I need $1.6 million. I need this, that. You're wasting your time. You should get it and do it. Just go get it and do it as in its simplest form. Um, for example, Uber doesn't need $40 billion to create Uber to know that the product works first. What you can do is give your friend a ride and say, hey, I'll give you a ride for $5. And if people like that service, then you have something. For us, what we did is we just used silver packets that we bought from the grocery store, not this product, our old product. We bought silver packets from the grocery store. We bought a heat sealer from Amazon, and we asked for flavor samples from dozens of different flavor houses around the United States. And they sent it to us for free. We maybe spent, $200 making our first version of our product. And so then we went to friends and family. At first, they spit it out. It tasted terrible, but you keep iterating, you keep getting it better and better. And, finally, then maybe we spent $500 between two of us. And we finally found something that was like, okay, this tastes really good. Then you bring that, it's called an MVP, minimum viable product. You bring that to market, try and get a little traction with that. And then start asking anyone you possibly know. That's how we raised our pre-seed round is we just used our network, asked anyone we possibly knew through LinkedIn, through friends of friends, through people through our supply chain, meaning through our manufacturer or through our co-packer. Do you know anyone who would be interested in getting involved in an early stage company? So, because I also did the LinkedIn route, I tried reaching out to angel investors. I tried going to investor events and talking to angel investors. It's the same thing as that topic I brought up earlier, where you walk into Walmart and the big dog just doesn't trust you yet. And it's kind of understandable. You don't have any track record as a young entrepreneur. You really need to figure out a way to get them to trust you. And, you know, people that you just LinkedIn request or just cold call, they just don't trust you yet. Would you trust someone with your money that just called you out of nowhere? Probably not. You do have to build that rapport. And that's why through our supply chain, through friends of friends, we were able to secure like our pre-seed round, which was $75,000, you know, a couple years back. And trust me, if there's a will, there's a way. I don't come, you know, from any big family. You know, I'm just from, you know, a small town kid from New Jersey. I, you know, never had any, you know, rich uncle Rich, I'll call him. I didn't have any Uncle Rich who had, you know, $10 million to invest in my company. I had to do it from scratch. I landed in LA. I didn't know a single person when I landed here. You build that network of people that you meet, people who trust you. And one more piece of advice is if you really want to raise that money, ask, you know, network with someone, ask them for the money. They're going to say no, but just say, okay, well, this is my plan moving forward. Move forward with your plan and achieve everything you went out to achieve. It's easier said than done. And then when you go back to them, you say, look, remember I told you I was going to do A, B, and C? Well, I did it all now. And you missed out on last round, but now there's an opportunity for next round. So that's how we just got our biggest seed investment to date, by kind of doing that, of just showing this person like, look, you know, we achieved everything we're going to do. And if you miss out this time, we're still going to achieve everything I'm saying right now. You know, it's on you to make that decision, or miss out. So.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Is there any other final thoughts that you want to give us before we close it out?
Yeah, my last thought is just, if there's a will, there's a way. Again, you know, entrepreneurship's not for the faint-hearted. I've been on an emotional roller coaster thinking, why didn't I just, you know, go the more standard route of getting a corporate job many times? But there's always a way to do it. You know, it's not about the ups and downs. It's about the roller coaster ride itself. So I would tell people, don't give up so easily. Like, I think people do give up pretty easily. Just knowing all the nonsense I go through day to day. It's just, you really gotta, I don't know, be in it to win it and just be laser focused. Otherwise there's someone else that is. So
yeah, and recognizing that there's always going to be problems, you know, just you have to solve them and hope for better problems as you go along, you know.
yeah.
But well, can you tell everyone again how to find you, all of that good stuff?
Yeah. So you can visit our website. That's craftmix.co. You can find us on social media at Craftmix Cocktails. And then we're on the first page of Amazon. So if you want to check us out, just type in cocktail mix on Amazon. I'm sure we'll be one of the first ones to come up. We've built our way up there.